I'd like to start off by saying we have our own business and we've had it for many, many years. And the one thing that I must say about Gamberg is from the first time they came to our house, that Manny came here, and told us what was going to happen, when it was going to happen, when it would be completed, and how much it was going to cost. As a business person, everything that was promised came out exactly as we had been told it would. And that's quite unusual to find, particularly in this day and age.
I agree. I love the way Manny and his crew came in, because they put on the surgical booties, and I always worry when workmen come in on our beige carpet, because grease comes in and people have been walking on the streets and you just don't know what you're picking up. And he treated this as he would his own home, and his work was immaculate. He measured it, it was precise, it was fascinating to watch, it really was. I couldn't believe that they were really going to be able to do this. It sounded good, looked good, and it was. I can hardly believe it. There were so many, our little twists and turns that we needed here that were unique to us, were important, that we keep the same flow of the house and didn't ruin any of the aesthetic value of our home, because this is it. This is our dream house. This is where we're going to be forever. And with our chairlift, with our Gamberg, it's gonna, and we love it. It is so good, and it's so easy to operate. So it's just maintenance free. It really is.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Had you, before you got this, had you considered moving? Was that on the?
Oh yeah. Before we really knew about Gamberg, we had considered the fact. I remember when we first bought the house back in '89. I looked at the stairway and I went, okay, if anything happens, we can do something on the stairway. I had no idea what, how, didn't know anything about it. But I knew that it was wide enough to be able to do something. Then as our neighbors aged along with us, they started moving out. I'd say, why? Why are you moving? They said, well, the stairs and our knees. And I said, put in a chairlift. And I said, don't do that other one, because it's like a bunch of Lego things put together. And it's rickety, and it's a little, you're shaking all over, and you feel like you're going to fall out of the chair, and which is really, oh, you want comfort? Get a pillow and sit on it. And that wasn't aesthetically pleasing to me either. So we found out about Gamberg and the Bruno chair, and oh boy, it came, and it's wonderful.
Do you guys feel safe on the chair? You feel comfortable in it?
Very comfortable. Matter of fact, when at the time we decided to get the chair, we didn't think we would need it for any particular length of time, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, but we wanted to be prepared. And I am so grateful that we made the decision when we did, because both of us became quite ill from the time it was installed to the present moment. And we have thanked God for having a Gamberg chair in our home during these periods when we have been ill. So.
And a thank you to Manny, because a lot of the things, of the twists and turns that keep the aesthetics on this, the engineers back east said, I don't think we can do that. And he kept saying, try again. She wants you to do it. And I just knew that some of the things that I wanted within my home, I wanted to keep the flow, I wanted it to be unobtrusive, which it is unobtrusive, and they did it. So, thank you, Manny.
if someone asked you, I'm thinking about getting a stair chair in my home.
Camber, 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 Camber.
We've done that already.
Bruno. It's like a first and last name, Bruno, Camber. Sorry, but that's the way I feel.
Anyway, we are fans.
Well, thank
And
you.
you guys are nice to work with too. You answer the phones and you're available, you're reachable, you're touchable, even for silly questions.
All right, and does Itsy Bits have anything to say before we...
Itty Bits doesn't really want to say anything, but she loves the chair as well. She loves to ride on the chair. That's a big deal for her when it's time for us to go up and go to bed.
It's like what they used to have at Disneyland, which was an e-ticket ride. You have to be kind of old to remember that. An e-ticket ride on Disneyland they were the really fun ones.
Yes.
And that's her e-ticket ride.
Thank you so much.
Okay.